But there is a way to enjoy the casinos without losing money or taking risks with scams. A way to eat the worm and not the hook. The spectacle of the extravagant architecture and design, the free attractions, reasonable price shows and rides, and of course, the buffets. If you lined up all the buffets in Nevada's casinos, you'd have food for as far as the eye can see. A cornucopia spilling like chips out of a slot machine. A bounty of flavors and calories comparable to the feast Cleopatra threw to seduce the powers of Rome. With hundreds of buffets just like this one around town, you may think this abundance of food can't possibly be eaten. Well, you're wrong and you're right. There are leftovers, but they're all consumed by a beast much more ravenous than I. Nyam, 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 nyam. Our truck's coming back from an all-night run past the casinos where it loaded up with over 20,000 pounds of leftover buffet food. That's the easy part. Welcome to RC Farms. Just like the Mojave to the west and the drainage systems below, it offers yet another stunningly different side to a city that appears one loud note. It's the quintessential kind of farm from childhood storybooks. All kinds of animals running around, ponds, livestock with room to move and dirt under their feet, and a friendly grandfather-like figure at the head of it all. It feels like I'm in Iowa, but I'm only 10 miles away from the Strip and all the mega casinos and resorts. The best thing about it? It's pure old-school sustainability. Buffet food is fed to a legion of ravenous pigs. Organic material from the pigs is stacked and sold to an orchard as fertilizer, and the livestock eventually makes its way back onto the buffet table. Max, the farm hand extraordinaire, shows me around and gives me the lowdown on the residents, duties, and lifestyle. So what's one thing about life here on the farm that people might not realize?
Well, it being a city farm, not just out there in the country, we're one of the Strip's secrets, basically. For us going out there, getting the food, and then coming back here with it, recooking it, and giving it to the pigs, and then the pigs going to humans. It's just a recycling, cycle, and that's what this whole farm is. That's what the 3 R's stand for: reduce, reuse, recycle.
It's kind of bizarre when you think about it. It is a cycle of food that goes on and on.
Exactly.
After shooting the breeze, it's time to get to work. Now, what happens to all that leftover casino food in the truck? Well, first things first, you gotta sift out the plastic, silverware, and all the other bizarro items that end up in the trash along with the food. I've never worked an assembly line gig in my life, and I have a feeling I started with one of the more unsavory ones out there. Hey, I could be relaxing by a casino pool right now and chatting up babes. All that is just a 15-minute drive away. But strangely enough, I drop into a kind of mindful rhythm and get into the flow. Once the food is sorted, it goes up this long conveyor belt where it's dumped into a giant pot and boiled into a leftover stew. Hot and fresh, straight out the kitchen. The steaming hot slop is then pumped and dumped into a truck where it will begin its distribution around the farm grounds. Perfecto. Smells like spaghetti, kind of. It really does. Well, it ain't cucina italiana, but I've had worse at certain fast food joints and college cafeterias. Then it's feeding time. Certain pigs get individually served. I'm not sure why these guys are so special, but I have to manage this funky little vehicle down the line and shovel the gruel directly into their dishes. Some are more appreciative of my service than others. Nobody tips. And then there's a whole bunch of guys who have to line up and get it buffet style. Eager customers wait as I try to figure out this clutch thing. Dag nabbit! Feather it out. Woo-hoo-hoo! Who says guys can't multitask?
When you look at it, it's not too much different from the Homo sapiens scene that occurred the first time this food was served.
Well, I can't say I enjoyed sorting through the slop or even cooking it, but there is something nice about providing food to another being. You know, like when you feed your pet, or when you have dinner guests and you provide dinner and they show their appreciation. And these animals certainly seem to be appreciating what Daddy cooked up. You like that, huh? Yeah.
Overall, the farm experience was a pleasant, real-world diversion from the skin-deep glitz and glamour of shiny Vegas, blazing like a bonfire in the distance. Walking and talking with the farmer, prepping the grub, and making the rounds. I'm not saying I'm a bad cook, but very few friends ask me to prepare a little extra when I'm in my kitchen. This time around, I finally got some appreciative guests.